What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. Bandai decided to surprise all of us with a little bit of a Thanksgiving treat, and they revealed to us the blue cards that are going to be in the Clash of Fates themed booster that comes out in, I believe, January. And the blue color is centered around Bardock and his crew of Salyans. I am excited, I'm super hype, and I really want to make this shit work. Let's go ahead and check it out. Up first, we have our 4th Bardock leader, our 5th one if you want to include the Mass Saiyan starter deck leader. He's blue this time around, which means we can use that unyielding spirit trunks that I love that everybody now hates. His auto is Burst 2. When this card attacks a leader, draw a card, and this card gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. I hate that he has to attack a leader. The burst, okay, fine, that's whatever. But because you have to burst, you have to mill those top 2 cards, you shouldn't have to attack a leader. That's just my opinion. When you have 4 or less life, you can switch 2 of your energy to active mode and flip this card over. Into Bardock, Hope of the Saiyans. The art on this leader is amazing. I have to have a foil version of this leader. He's got an auto Sparking 5. When this card attacks, draw 1 card and gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So that's pretty underwhelming. When this card is attacked, if a Bardock's crew card is in your drop area, you may choose 1 card from your life and place it in your drop area. If you do, negate the attack. So it kind of gives you a few free negates. The only part that really sucks about it is not only do you lose a card from your life, but it goes straight to your drop, so you don't even get to draw it. That part is really underwhelming to me. The fact that he gets the negates, like, I get it. And if it takes it from life, then, you know, great, but at least let me draw the card. The leader himself just seems underwhelming. Hopefully that won't be the case when I actually have time to sit down and figure out a good build that I would play with these cards. But again, I love the fact that we're getting more Bardock support, and if you guys can think of anything that I cannot off the top of my head of why this leader is better than he seems to be, I would greatly appreciate it. Next up, we have Gine, Mother of Hope. She's a 1-cost, 1,000 power. Her auto says, when you combo with this card, if one of your blue Bardock cards is being attacked, this card gets plus 5,000 combo power for the duration of the turn. So, it's kind of like a free defensive super combo. I mean, it's 10,000 when you're being attacked, but I don't know. Honestly, the card is kind of underwhelming itself. I'm not really sure how much use I think you can get out of it, just because it has to be a blue Bardock, so you can't use it with any of the yellow Bardock support. And on top of that, we only have 1 blue Bardock right now that they've shown us, and that is the super rare. So you're probably pushing for game at that point. So I don't really know how I feel about this one, but it seems kind of underwhelming to me. Up next, we have their son, Baby Kakarot, Bearer of Fate. He's a 1-cost, 1,000 power. When you play this card, draw 1 card. His activate main says, place this card at the bottom of its owner's deck. Choose up to 1 blue Saiyan card with the energy cost of 1 in your drop area and add it to your hand. So we have a few of the Bardock's crew that are 1-cost blue Saiyans. And we have some others throughout the game as well, but for the most part, you're going to run them with the Bardock's crew. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the Goku. Sure, you can add the card from the drop to your hand, but you have to play him and then you lose him, so you don't have him there for combo. I don't know. I think it's a good way to get things from your drop, but I don't know that I would run 4 of him in a Bardock's crew deck at the moment. Up next, we have Prince Vegeta. He's a 1-cost, 10,000 vanilla. I don't know why they would bother putting him in this set, especially part of this color, since it's all about Bardock and his crew. Goku shouldn't be in there either. There shouldn't really be a Kakarot, but it makes sense since it's his son. I'm not sure why Prince Vegeta is here at all, let alone as a skill-less battle card. But, of course, there has to be some filler cards, and this time around, it just happened to be Vegeta. Up next, we have Burnished Tora. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 power with barrier. If a Bardock's crew card is in your drop area, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. He also has the activate main for 3 blue energy. Place this card in its owner's drop area. Choose up to 1 Final Strike Bardock from your deck or drop area and play it, and then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So he's going to be there to set up your big Bardock play, and that's really about it. You could attack with him if you wanted, but you really don't want to, because then he's going to be vulnerable to being KO'd. He'll be vulnerable to it anyways, for cards that get around barrier, or for cards that can attack active battle cards, but this is the safest way to ensure he stays alive so you can get out that Final Strike Bardock. Up next we have Planetary Invader Tora. He's a 1 cost 5,000 power. Says when you play this card, choose up to 1 Bardock's crew card in your drop area and add it to your hand, so it lets you recycle your Bardock crew. And I like the fact that we've got these good 1-drop searchers, especially the art on these cards is amazing. They're going to look fantastic as foils. But Tora is one of my favorite characters, especially from Bardock's crew, and getting to see him have these dope-ass cards is just, I love it. I love that we're getting more Bardock support. I said from the beginning, after Apes got hit, after people were hating on Apes, fine, ruin Apes. Just give me more Bardock and his crew, and they literally gave us Bardock and his crew as an archetype. I just hope that it's good enough that it can be competitive. Up next we have Bardock's side chick, Burnished Bonds Fasha. She's a 3 cost 15,000 with critical. Her permanent says if a Bardock's crew card is in your drop area, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. So she's also a 2 cost 15,000. Activate main says place this card in its owner's drop area. Choose up to 1 Bardock's crew card in your battle area and switch to active mode. That would be really cool to use with the Final Strike Bardock. I don't know what else you would really use it with. Maybe if they reveal another like super rare Bardock, maybe we get like a super rare Shugesh or a super rare Tora. I would really like that. And, you know, but honestly right now, I'm not really sure you would use her ability for anything but that big Bardock. Then we've got another 1-drop in Planetary Invader Fasha. She's also a 1 cost 5,000 power. When you play this card, look it up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 Bardock's crew among them and add it to your hand. So it's not as great as 7, but at least it's not 3. I really hate the look at the top 3 cards because it's just so bad. And it's so easy to miss. At least with 5, you have a bit bigger of a chance. This card will look fantastic foil just because of all that purple energy. And as I'm making this video, I'm already coming up with ideas for how I want to play with this new Bardock and Bardock crew support. And it's going to be kind of wacky. Up next, we got Burnished Bond Shugesh. Our boy is back with a vengeance. He's a 3 cost, 15,000 power. When this card attacks, you may draw 1 card. If you did not draw a card with this skill, this card gains double strike for the duration of the turn. So he is our new red Gohan BCC promo / yellow Bardock that we got from the starter deck for the Goku's lineage, and that's great. That's not a bad effect at all. Definitely see myself running 2, 3, maybe even 4 of him in my Bardock's crew deck. Then we've got Burnished Bonds Borges. He was not happy with the card that Bandai gave him in Set 3, so now in Clash of Fates Theme Booster 3, he has a much better skill, and even the art looks better. He's a 1 cost, 4,000 power. When you play this card, draw 1 card, and once per turn during your opponent's turn, if your opponent switches their energy to active mode using a non-awakened skill, choose up to 1 of your opponent's energy and place it in its owner's drop area. Non-awaken. That hits everything besides awakening, including cards like Sensu Beam. So that shuts down Storm, sort of. I mean, all you have to do is kill the Borges, but it means you're going to have to dedicate a little bit more board control. You're going to have to, or have cards that can attack active battle cards. But that's really gross. And I hate it because it's another silver bullet that they gave us that kind of like ruins other cards in an attempt to stop one specific thing. Like how they made Cronoa, and it's, you know, against Shugesh, but then it hits any other super combo that's going to have a similar effect. This is the same thing, yes, this will hit Storm from doing all their stormy stuff, but this also is going to make it to where if Soul Striker stays a competitive, good leader, which I think he should. I don't know why he dropped and has not seen any play lately, but this would be a side deck card. You would side this for every matchup against him, and then if you are running Soul Striker, you are going to have to run board destruction cards, or cards that attack active battle, because you will not be able to get your effects while that Borges is on the board. Then we've got Tolo the Seer. He's our super combo. He's the Canassin that gave Bardock his divine ability of premonition to see the future and to see the demise of the Saiyan people. It's just a basic super combo. If your leader's Bardock's crew and you have 5 or less life, draw a card, gain 10,000 power. It sucks that they went back to it having 0 combo power before you're at the life requirement, and instead of having 10,000 power like they have been having in set 5. It's kind of like a step backwards, but I mean, I guess either way it doesn't really matter too much. The Great Saiyaman Sparking Super Combo from set 5 would probably be better in this deck anyways. Up next we have Future Punch, which is not really a punch, but it's our first extra card for blue for the Clash of Fate set. And its activate main says, choose one Tulo the Seer in your drop area and place it at the bottom of your deck. Choose all of your blue Saiyan leader cards and blue Saiyan battle cards, and they gain plus 5,000 power and critical for the duration of the turn. At the end of the turn, choose all the Saiyan cards in your battle area and place them in their owner's drop area. So it's kind of like a, hey, we're boosting all of your cards, we're giving them all crit, this is a go all in attack. And for 1 energy, that's not that bad at all. The only thing that I'm wondering is, since it says at the end of the turn, choose all the Saiyan cards in your battle area. So it is going to hit battle cards that you bring out even after this ability, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. It should only affect the ones that were boosted by this card's effect. It also kind of sucks that you have to use Tulo the Seer, and you can't use the Great Saiyaman Sparking Super Combo. But this might end up being a really good card to run with the Bardock's crew deck. And since it hits all blue Saiyans and not just Bardock's crew, there might be a little bit of versatility with this card and using it with other blue battle cards. Up next we have Tora's Red Armband. Technically it's not red until he uses it to clean Tora's face and gets it covered in blood. Maybe they didn't want to call it his bloody armband. But it's a 4-cost extra card with the activate main that says, if your leader card is Bardock's crew, choose 1 blue Tora card in your drop area and send it to your warp. Draw 4 cards, choose up to 1 Final Strike Bardock in your battle area and switch it to active mode, and it gains plus 10,000 power and double strike for the duration of the turn. At the end of the turn, choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So, in the instance where you don't kill your opponent with this combo, you've got a free energy to be able to protect yourself, and you bet your ass Dimension Magic is the negate that is going to be run with this fucking deck. This will also trigger the auto on the Final Strike Bardock as well, forcing your opponent to discard a card. I'm not really quite sure how effective that part's going to be. Basically, it's going to let you attack with the Bardock 25,000. You're probably going to use it to KO a battle card, maybe take them down to 2 life if you can get that far, and then play this card, switch him to active. He's 35,000 with double strike, and then you're probably just going to try and combo your entire hand and board to power him up for that finishing blow. I'm not convinced yet that the Bardock is good enough as a finisher, because he just comes into play and does nothing. Sure, when he switches back to active mode, then you get that discard, but it's just 1 discard, and it's not really even, I don't know, it just seems so underwhelming, and I hate that they had done this, but I am damn determined to make this Bardock shit work. Probably one of the most exciting things for me, however, are these new SPRs. The fact that they are supposed to be from important moments in the show, in the movies, showcasing the main characters for that time, showcasing the main characters for that timeline. In this case, It's where Bardock finds Tora after Dodoria's men have beat the shit out of his crew, where he says, "Good luck, old friend," right before he finally passes away. And it's so phenomenal, and I can't wait to see the foiling on these cards. The only thing that bugs me about this, and I think I said that in the previous video I did on this set, is that Tora's armor is perfectly intact in this picture. Why? Why is it intact when this is right before he dies, when his armor has been shattered by Dodoria uppercutting him and just destroying most of his Saiyan battle armor? The continuity as far as like the images that Bandai uses for this game, it really, really irritates me how it's almost like they just don't care to have that extra level of accuracy. Here we have the Final Strike Bardock, both in its Super Rare and its SPR versions, and I gotta say, both versions look fantastic. I obviously love the SPR more because it's when it's when he throws his energy blast at Frieza right before Frieza blows up the planet, and it's just it's one of my favorite moments. It's one of the most badass Bardock moments, for him to just stand up to Frieza like that when nobody else would. Even Frieza's own men were afraid of him, and Bardock was like, nah, fuck that. Anyways, he's a 5 cost 25,000 with barrier. His permanent says that there can only be up to one Final Strike Bardock in play in your battle area. His auto says when this card is switched from rest mode to active mode, if your leader card is Bardock's crew, your opponent chooses one card in their hand and places it at the bottom of their deck. So it's really not that great. His effect seems really underwhelming. I mean, you can get him out for 3 energy with the Tora, and with some energy manipulation thanks to like Unyielding Spirit Trunks and Sensu Bean, you can, do a little bit more with your plays, but I don't know, this card just seems so underwhelming. And then you have to keep him alive to be able to play the red armband and give him that extra power boost. It just, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it. I want to make this good. Bardock is one of my favorites, and I'm gonna find a way to build this, but I don't know, the card just seems so underwhelming as is. I'm hoping that a few of the other super rares we're gonna see for blue, possibly even a secret rare Bardock, that would be super amazing, but I want something to make these cards seem better. Then lastly, we have Dream the Future. It's our negate for the Bardock's crew. It's a 1-cost counterattack. Says negate the attack, and if your leader card is Bardock's crew, you may choose one blue card in your hand and place it in your drop area. If you do, add this card to your hand. So you can do that to add your negate back to your hand to set up and have a Bardock's crew in your drop to be able to trigger all of your battle cards abilities. So it's not bad, and in a way it replaces itself, even though you still have to discard a card, but you're setting up for future plays, and also potentially setting up to have some overrun potential if you wanted to run that. But I don't know, to me it just seems like this could be a bit better than it is. And also, Bardock is not battered or bruised or beaten. None of his armor is damaged here, and in which case the scene where he does have this kind of vision / little communication with his son is after he has taken that energy blast from Dodoria and he got himself in some pretty bad shape. So continuity issues, not really a big deal. Half of you probably don't give a shit about it, but to me it just seems lazy. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap up the blue card spoiler reveal for the Clash of Fates themed booster. Honestly, I love what they did with this. I love how all the cards seem to flow together, and it's Bardock, and the Bardock movie, or TV special, if you will, was one of my favorites. Bardock is one of my favorite characters, and I want this deck to be good. I want to make this work. If you guys have any ideas for it whatsoever, or if you've thought of something that I didn't mention in the video, please let me know in the comments below, because I would love to discuss it and try and figure out some cool things that we can do with this archetype. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you're looking forward to this new theme booster or the Bardock crew in general, make sure you hit that like button down below for us, because we appreciate the support. We appreciate all of our subscribers as well. We're over 1350 now, still climbing up there day by day, and I appreciate everything that you guys do to support our content. We're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here now, and we'll see you guys in the next video.